Dear scholars, we have started learning a lesson, the fall of Troy. Here, fall means ruin or drop down. Let me add one more word, destruction. So, it is the story of ruin or destruction of the city of Troy or the kingdom of Troy. Before learning actual story, we need to focus on the meaning of epics, because this story is the part of one of the epics from western literature or European literature. So let us see what epics mean and how epics are transmitted from generation to generation. That is given in the first paragraph. Let us read out. Epics are long poems that relate the deeds of a great national hero or a great national war. It is the definition of epics. How they are transmitted? Let us see further. They often tell of a nation's early history. They may be composed and sung or recited for many years before they are actually written down. So it is about epics, its meaning, and how they are transmitted. So they are transmitted through the songs and recitals. Let us go further. Next paragraph. Here in this paragraph, there is comparison between the famous Indian epics, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the European literatures, the Iliad and the Odyssey. Let us see what little information as a part of comparison given in this paragraph. The two famous Sanskrit epics are the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Remember, the Ramayana is composed by Valmiki and the Mahabharata composed by Vyas. And the two great epics of European literature written in ancient Greek are the Iliad and the Odyssey. So it is the comparison of the literatures, Sanskrit literature or Indian literature, the two epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, the same way which are the Europeans or the famous epics from European literature. So they are the Iliad and the Odyssey. Just as in Indian literature, we go back to the stories from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So in the literature of Western countries, they go back to the Iliad and Odyssey. So whatever stories we have learned or we have been learning, or the many generations have been learning in India from Ramayana and Mahabharata, the same way in Western countries, the people are learning, have been learning the stories of the Iliad and the Odyssey. What is further? Just as children all over India know the names of stories of Ram and Sita from the Ramayana, Yudhishthira and Arjuna and Draupadi from Mahabharata. So, children in Western countries know the names of Hector and Odysseus, that is from the Iliad. Hector, Odysseus and Achilles and Helen of Troy. These all from the Iliad. The most beautiful woman in the world, because of whom the Greek and Trojans fought for 10 long years. So it is little information about Helen of Troy, who was the most beautiful woman in the world, and because of her only Greek and Trojans. Greek means the people of Greece, and Trojans means the people of Troy or the citizen of Troy. They fought for 10 long years because of Helen. I hope you might have understood the comparative study or information about the Greek, about the Indian epics, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and European epics, the Iliad and Odyssey, the Odyssey. In the next paragraph, there is something more about this European literature. Some more information is added. Let us see what is it. Nobody knows for certain who the author of these early epics is. Who is the author of the Iliad and the Odyssey? It is unknown. It is thought that they arose and developed with the nation itself. As the writer or the author is unknown, people think that they arose and developed with the nation itself, or the people in the nation, they developed and they arose and were handed down from singer to singer till perhaps one great poet gave them their final form. So whatever stories from these famous epics are heard, they are developed, they are arose with the nation itself, and from singer to singer they are just handed down, they are just transmitted, and once one great poet put them in their final form. Who is that poet or who is the author? Let us see his or her information in the next paragraph. It is believed that the Iliad and the Odyssey were composed and recited by a blind poet named Homer, who lived about 900 before Christian era and who wandered from one Greek city or village to another, singing his poems to all who would receive him in their homes and give him hospitality. So what is about the author or the poet of these two great epics? A blind poet named Homer. He composed and recited these two poems for few years or some years and wandered from one Greek city or village to another. So wherever he used to go, at that place he used to sing these poems, and because of him only people from those places came to know about the stories of the epics, the Iliad and the Odyssey. This wandering singer has been honored through the ages, not only in Greece but in all Europe, as the father of European poetry. So remember, Homer, who was a blind poet, honored as the father of European poetry. What is the reason behind it? It is given in the first two lines of this paragraph. What is it? It is believed that the Iliad and the Odyssey were composed and recited by a blind poet named Homer, and because of that only he is honored as the father of European poetry. So it is all about the information of the epics, the Iliad, the Odyssey, and little we came to know about the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. I hope you all might have watched or seen the epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata on TV serials or movies. Remember the poet or the authors of the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So Valmiki for the Ramayana and Vyas for the Mahabharata. Let us go further through the next paragraph. We will come to know about the city of Troy. Now, actually, whatever title we have, the fall of Troy or the city of that is related to city of Troy, that story we are going to begin through this paragraph. So here in this paragraph there is information about the city, how the city of Troy was prosperous, that is given in this paragraph. Let us see. The Iliad is the story of Ilium or Troy. Same, Ilium or Troy used, both the names are given to that particular city only. What is it? A rich trading city in Asia Minor. What is Asia Minor? It is a place where the continents of Asia and Europe meet. That is called as Asia Minor. So the Iliad is the story of Ilium or Troy, which is a rich trading city in Asia Minor near the narrow sea that leads from the Aegean to Black Sea. These are the two names of sea. So it is about the location of the city of Troy or Ilium. It was well situated both for commerce and agriculture. In front of the city was the sea over which sailed the ships of Troy, carrying goods and grain. So whatever ships mentioned, specially they used to carry goods and grain. Next, at the back rose the high peak of Mount Ida. It is physical surrounding or how the city was prosperous with all other physical characters that is given. So what is it? High peak of Mount Ida, from which flowed many rivers and streams. The valleys among the hills were well watered and fertile, with corn growing in fertile fields and cattle feeding on the rich grass of the meadows, while sheep fed on the slopes of the hills. So, through this paragraph, you might have come to know about how the city was prosperous with the sea, with the one of the peak Mount Ida, and because of Mount Ida, whatever rivers and streams flowed through the region, they were working as the great source of water in those areas, in that area, and because of that only there the region was well watered, the soil was fertile over there. Whatever fields observed, they all were fertile. Meadows with green grass or rich grass were also found over there, and because of all this availability, the cattle and sheep feeding in that area, were also found. So it is all about the prosperity of the city. Let us see the next paragraph, in which how the Trojans protected during wartime, or what arrangement was done by the Trojans for their protection, that is given. Let us see. Round their city, the Trojans, remember, Trojans means the citizens or people of Troy. Round their city, the Trojans had built a strong wall so that no enemy should attack them from the sea. The wall was so broad that people could stand and sit and walk on it. So, here you might have come to know how strong the wall was, and because of that wall, the people of Trojans were getting protection from the enemy who used to attack them from the sea. The great gates stood open. It is further for protection. The great gates stood open and people could go to the seashore outside and come in as they pleased. So it is the reason, because of that only the people were wandering, going to the seashores outside and also coming back happily, as they were in safety due to those walls and the great gates. Let us see further. But in time of war, the gates would be closed, and then the city was like a strong fortress, quite safe from all attack, protected by the walls surrounding it as well as by the hills behind. So due to all these things, the city of Troy was a great protective place for the Trojans, or the Trojans, the people of Troy, were getting protection due to all of this. So till this paragraph we discuss about what epics means. There is comparative information between Indian epics and the European epics. Further, we came to know about the poet of the Iliad and Odyssey, and later we came to know about the prosperity, or which things made Troy prosperous city, and how the city of Troy was protected during wartime. So this is all about today's video. Remaining part of the story we will learn through the next video.